ladies, from now on you'll never see one of those men without the other two.
Oh, Professor, why, you're wrong. They've hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream. How can there be any sin insincere? Aren't we sincerely in love?
Inside of the Lady stumbles back in the vent.
You don't happen to live alone, do you?
No.
Well, I have some wonderful caramels over at the hotel.
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street, like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of odd 5.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? Another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of records books in there which may very well give you some very interesting information about you. Oh, Professor Hill, we're all agog, simply agog.
Oh, look at me. Everyone's so excited about the man. I'm Ethel Toppelmeyer. Mrs. Squires and Mrs. Hicks. And of course, we met you Lady Shin. The mayor's wife. Isn't it exciting you lately?
Oh, I could not say. No, I could not say at this time. My husband wants to investigate, I'm sure. And yes, I'm reticent. Oh yes, I'm reticent.
Yes, of course, I understand, Mrs. Shin, but you see, part of my music plans include a committee on the dance. And wait. Do that again. The way you raised your foot just now.
I have a bunion there now.
Oh, what grace, what natural flow of rhythm, what expression of line and movement.
Mr. Hill.
Oh, you must accept the chairmanship of the ladies' auxiliary for the class of dance. Mustn't you, ladies?
Oh, yes, please. You must, you Laylee.
Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks Del Sarte. Will you say yes, Mrs. Shin?
Eulalie the Technician. Well, it's dancing well?
That you accept?
Yes, indeed. And I would like to say...
Oh, thank you. And now the young lady who plays the piano, Marion Peru. Well, after all, she is the librarian.
Professor, her kind of woman doesn't belong on any committee. First, I should tell you this. She asked me dirty books.
Dirty books?
Excellent children. Rabelais.
Balzac.
And the worst thing, of course, I should tell you this much. Also, the man lives on my street. Let me tell.
Stop. Tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town until she came. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison? Madison Gymnasium, Madison Picnic Park, Madison Hospital. That Miser Madison?
Exactly. Who do you think he was anyway?
Well, I should say, show off. He gave the town the library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city. But he left all the books to her.
She was seen going and coming from his place. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That was a brazen overture with a gilt-edged guarantee. She had a golden wrist in her eye and a silver voice for counterfeit rent. Just melt her down and you'll feel a lump of lead as cold as steel. Here, where a woman's heart.
He left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her.
Chaucer,
Rabelais,
Balzac.
Yes. I have just what you want over at the hotel. Come with me. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Oh, Mrs. Prue, do you realize you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
Well, if your boy has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George! Well, not that he could ever be really great, you understand, but...
Oh, and in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all of the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendez, O'Klein...
Professor, we are Irish.
No, that clinches it. Sign here, Mrs. Prue, your boy was born to play the cornet. Thank you. And that'll be $7 earnest money, nothing due to the first installment payable at opening of band practice. Ah, thank you. And I will also need the boy's measurements for his band uniform.
His uniform?
Oh, hello there, son.
Would it have
A stripe? Certainly, my boy, a wide red stripe on each side. How does that sound?
Please excuse me, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. If you could get him to play in the band, it would be a miracle. Where are you from, Professor?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Gold medal class, Lot 5. Oh, hello, Miss Marion.
Mr. Hill. He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
Do you press it on everyone's home like this?
Marion!
We're not interested.
Now, why not let the boy's father decide?
Well, boy's father's dead. Anything else?
Please excuse Marion. She's not
Oh,
really...
it's quite all right. I'm sure that at heart she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Mrs. Prue.
Good day, Professor. Marion Peru!
Has he gone?
I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think about your future? Gary, Indiana Conservatory, class of Lot 5. Now, darling...
Now, Mama,
not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only, it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Winthrop! Winthrop, I know you're there! Please go to the library and ask Miss Scrub for the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You don't have to say anything. I've written it all down.
Now, what are you up to? What are you books at this hour of the night for?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal may help me poke some very large holes in the professor's claims.
Didn't I say get that spellbinder with those credentials? I said the morning of July 4th, 1912.
Yes, George, but...
Now the whole town's turned upside down. The school board is singing up street and down alley instead of attending the city matters.
Mayor Shin, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater,
Is who?
his university.
I know all about that. In fact, that's nothing you can ever get out of it. You're a conservatory close to on.
If you'll just take a little time to read, you don't have to look much further. It's on page...
Wells Fargo wagon is coming up from the depot.
At this hour of the day, the Wells Fargo wagon?
It could be the president.
The band instruments? I want that man's credentials. Individual instruction in due course. In the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and think the minuet in G.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Sister, never studied anything from scriptures, and the scriptures all go dingle, sister.
Not one for you, Mr. Hill, but I better hear some I got two and out of them forwards in pretty short order, or I'll see you in front of the grand jury. Now, Miss Marion, about that book.
I'm George.
Hold on, I gotta get something from the librarian about that book.
Professor Hill, I've never seen Winthrop so happy. Thank you.
My pleasure, Miss Peru.
Start her up, Mr. Washburn. Wait till the secret step Professor Hill taught us.
All right, what'll it be?
Whoopee.
Shaboopy! Now, a woman who'll kiss on the very first date is usually a hussy, and a woman who'll kiss on the second time out is anything but fussy. But a woman who'll wait till the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. She's the girl he's glad he's found. She's his shaboopy, 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 shaboopy. The girl who's hard to get. Shaboopy, shaboopy, shaboopy.
But you can't win her yet.
Mayor Shin, I want you to know I'm vouching for Tommy Gillis. That boy's got the confidence of every kid in town. You'll be standing in line waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members of the floor gather wheelchairs and account of their broken legs they'll be getting from tripping over their beards. Now I'm going to tell you something, my fine young feathered. My feathered young fine... Never mind! Oliver, J.C. Eworks! I want these man's references and I want them tonight. Do not let them out of your sight. He's slippier than a Mississippi surgeon.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin's behaved abominably, and I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
A man can't dodge every issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? A coward dies 1,000 deaths, a brave man only 500.
I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been wanting to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His cornet? Oh, mother of croquets.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine. And he tells me about his think system. If he thinks the minuet G, he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor...
Miss Marion, the think system is a revolutionary method, I'll admit. But I cannot discuss these things here in public, but if you'll allow me to call... when may I call?
Any night this week.
For your floor, you have golden shimmering hair and silver shoes for all to see. We know that you will soon unfold the forgiving heart of purest gold, here where a woman's heart should be. Fairy princess, moving floor, golden shimmer, silver shoes, now unfold, heart of gold,
fishing.
Harold, he told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana, and he said he'd take me there someday, and he even taught me a song that hardly says any accent. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, that's the town that knew me when. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, I'll happen upon the spelling you think the face on. I'll say without a moment of hesitation, there's just one place that can light my face.
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana.
Not Louisiana, Paris, Rusty, or Durham, but
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. I have to go for Amber Rose for my
Leave the dishes. I'll do them, Mama. Yes?
And you must know about that fellow Hill forming a boy unit.
Why, yes.
Well, don't let it bother you no more. I got the goods on human spades. Swim with 2-bit Himmelreger. I'm only a passenger. Number 8 opens 15-minute water stop.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Calloway, and facility. But just now, I want to protect the good name of that swimmer up in the credit.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake my old lady's course sector. That man's been the rat break 60 miles. He's just long enough. Spoiled doing what he's knocking Squirrel Island. Say, what kind of music teacher are you? Professor?
Oh, I know all about that. Band ladies are always called Professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director and is scholastic.
Wait. Fine director? Have you heard one-noted music from any band?
No, but
But nothing, girly girl. That man's never come to bed in his life, and he never will.
you'll never make that train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. I have to worry about that. No, no.
Oh, I never met a man who sells ambles. That's something, well, quite different.
Takes a real salesman. Ambulance have a limited appeal, you know? What am I doing? I missed that train and I get fired, and I gotta leave word with that fellow Hill.
Well, leave word with me.
Not in your tin type. How do I know to live in this letters?
Oh, try me. There's your train. Now run for it.
Why you double doing little? Who do you think you're protecting? That man's got a girl in every county in Illinois. And that's 102 counties, not including the inner city where he was still get up with your mouth shut. Neither one of you is the last meeting or no.
Marion, who was you talking to? Just why, Professor Hill?
Mrs. Pruitt, top of the evening, Miss Marion.
You and Marion come up and set. I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, put some on.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Professor Hill, is it true that you... What I'm trying to say is, I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where did you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of a traveling salesman.
I'm
Now, Miss
on the
Marion,
bus.
surely you must believe everything
on
you
the
hear. After all, no one even hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison. He's my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me at a sure job so Mother Winthrop and I would have some security. Well, surely you don't believe...
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, but why do you think people start those rumors?
Narrow-mindedness, jealousy, jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Well, just that. But of course, it stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy can lead to, I mean, take you, for instance, your attentions to customers and music teachers, they might be easily misinterpreted, mightn't they? I mean, no, honestly, mightn't they?
Why?
And so you say, if another salesman or somebody were jealous, well, it downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
It just proves you should never believe everything you hear. Well, I mean, if you discuss things.
Miss Marion, I would be delighted to discuss anything with you, but couldn't we do it sitting down? You do sit, your knees bend and all.
We can sit on the porch steps.
Or we could sit on a large hollow log over by the footbridge.
I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk. Meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just can't. Please, some other time. Tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, pile up enough tomorrows and you'll find you've collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering. The footbridge, 15 minutes?
15 minutes. Yes? I just told Professor Hill I'm meeting at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Oh, glory be and the saints be praised. It works.
Oh, what does?
I've been using the Think system on people in the parlor.
I'm talking about Harold Hill. Road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
Same thing. He's had his hand in your wallet, mister, and yours, madam, and yours, little lady, ever since the first moment he came in this town. There's more documented evidence than he'll ever have time to read. There isn't any man, there never has been any man, and there never will be any man. And if you don't hunt this man down right now like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town.
Now will you believe me?